I know it's Super Bowl Sunday, but here at Patriots Today, we are still going to bring you daily coverage of your New England Patriots. And I kind of have a challenge for all the New England Patriots fans out there. Can we get to 8,200 subscribers by the time the Super Bowl ends? I know it's a lofty goal, but we bring daily content here at Patriots Today, and it would mean a lot for us for you to subscribe. It's the best way for y'all to show your appreciation, and it would mean a lot to me and Harrison here at Patriots Today. Can we get 90 subscribers before the Super Bowl ends? I believe we can. Today's show does feature two big talking points, though, surrounding New England. Mac Jones, is he on the way out of Foxborough via a trade? And are the Patriots taking a quarterback with the third overall pick? There's a lot of rumors on if they're going to take a quarterback, if they're just going to trade out. Like, what are they going to do? That will be a topic on today's show. But we start with Mac Jones and what Ian Rapoport had to say on the former 15th overall pick. Even though Bill Belichick is gone, Mac Jones, who lost the starting role and ended up third string by the end of the 2023 season, is a trade candidate in the coming weeks and most likely will end up elsewhere for the 2024 season. And then that's also followed up by Mike Girardi, who kind of had the same thing as well, saying expectation is for Mac to be moved. Of course it is. He lost the locker room, many of whom will be back in 24, and those are the coaches still in the building who feel the same way. It's the right thing to do. And this doesn't come as a surprise to me per se, but I will say I felt like there was like a growing slim chance that Mac would be back for the Patriots in 2024 in some capacity. I didn't think he was going to be the starter, but I also didn't think it was like some 0% chance. Like, I think there was a 1%, maybe 2% chance he would have been back as Patriots quarterback because, listen, there's a lot of holes for this team to fill, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And if they elected to just ride with Mac, see what he can do with one more year before they make that decision on his rookie contract in that fifth year, maybe they gave him one more chance, but evidently they are not going to do that, and all things point towards him potentially being on the move via trade in the next coming weeks. Before I talk more about Mac Jones and the Patriots quarterback situation, what say you? Do you want Mac Jones to stay as a Patriot? If you do, type Y. If you don't, type N. Very intriguing. Let the YouTube ad break play and get your votes down in the comment section. Let's look at Mac Jones' career because he did just complete his third season in the National Football League, and ever since his rookie year, everything has gone downhill. Quite literally, every single statistic has gone down since his rookie year. Look at it. Like, it's actually sad to see. Yards, completion percentage, touchdowns, interceptions have stayed around that same range, quarterback rating. Like, all of it has gone down. And through 42 games in his career, it's just not what you anticipated. And excuse my typo here on career. That's 36 interceptions for Mac Jones. It's just tough to see for Mac because he has been someone who a lot of us fans tried to rally behind. And after his rookie season, people in New England were like, oh, shit, we actually might have something here. And I was excited to see what Mac was going to be able to do for his career, and evidently it just won't be that case. And I think the biggest question we have to ask ourselves now when it comes to Mac Jones is, well, if he's going to be traded, what is his trade value going to be? And I think the best way to start gauging what his trade value is, well, just looking back a year ago. Trey Lance was traded from San Francisco to the Dallas Cowboys in exchange for a fourth-round pick. Trey Lance, well, he hasn't really played much, right? Third overall pick after the 49ers traded up. That haul where a lot of people thought it was going to be Mac Jones heading to the Bay Area, but it ended up being Trey Lance. He obviously didn't work out. 3 seasons thus far. He's played a very minimal amount of games. Injury history as well. And so when you're looking at this, it's like when the Cowboys traded for Trey Lance, they had Dak Prescott. So they sent a fourth-round pick to try to get a developmental backup quarterback with some upside. Could Mac get the same thing of a fourth-round pick? I'm not so sure because we've seen Mac degrade and his arm strength isn't there, his athleticism isn't there, and he's just continued to decline with his decision-making as well. I feel like a 5th or 6th round pick is the best you're going to get. I do think you will get something in this range. Like, I don't think it's going to be a 7th. I think Mac still has some value there. And To be honest, I think Mac could be a good backup quarterback in the NFL. Everything that we've been told is like he's a smart guy. He's just maybe physically limited. He feels like someone who could be a really good presence in a locker room, just maybe in a fresh start away from New England. So I think you could get a 5th or 6th round pick for Mac. I really do think that is a possibility. And if I had to pick a team, like I would keep my eye out for the Los Angeles Rams. I've said this in the past. I just think the Rams are a perfect fit. Like if he backed up Matthew Stafford for a couple of years before he retired, he learns in Sean McVay, gets a hold of that offense. And that team has had a very short history of kind of helping quarterbacks find their right step again, right? Like Carson Wentz did not look horrific when he had to step in as Matthew Stafford's backup at the end of this last season. Baker Mayfield played a couple games, and now he's set to make $30+ million potentially in free agency after his good season with Tampa Bay. Like, I think it would be very realistic and reasonable for the Rams front office to send a 4th, 5th, 6th round pick for Mac Jones and try to take him on as Stafford's backup and see if they can recoup what once was there and viewed as a potential franchise quarterback. I think it's a real possibility. More coming up on the quarterback situation in Foxborough. But first, got to show some love to our sponsor, and that is Prize Picks. Head to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS to get a first deposit match up to $100. If you're watching this before the big game, there's still time to take advantage of that free pick and free selection of more than Patrick Mahomes' half a passing yards. If you're watching this during the game or after the fact, you could still play Prize Picks on a daily basis. NBA, NHL, MLB is quickly coming around the corner. Take advantage of our deal with Prize Picks. First deposit match up to $100. Pick more than or less than 2 to 6 player stat projections. You win more than 100 or 25 times your money. You get that first deposit match up to $100 when you go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS. That link will be in the description and comments of today's video. Shout out to Prize Picks for sponsoring today's video. Appreciate them. There are some legends. All right. Are the Patriots going to take a quarterback with the 3rd overall pick? Because the rumors have been swirling surrounding the Patriots, and if they could trade out of the 3rd pick, if they're going to take a quarterback with no hesitation. And I want to kick it right back to Ian Rapoport, who had this nugget that dropped earlier today. The Patriots own the number 3 overall pick, and all indications are that they'll seriously explore taking one of the top draft quarterback as they move into the Drake Maye era. If Williams goes number 1 and Drake Maye goes 2 or Jayden Daniels goes 2, New England could take the 3rd quarterback or perhaps trade out with another team that will, if the Patriots don't like the prospect, that slides to them. And my first reaction to this is like, I think evaluation will be key in this situation. And I do think the Patriots actually have a good hand in this. You bring in Alonzo Highsmith from the University of Miami as a free agent role or a front office role. He's been highly touted as someone who could evaluate talent. So I like that pickup. And then Ben McAdoo. Some might laugh, but he's been one of the best quarterback evaluators in terms of prospects coming into the NFL over the past decade. So I trust that the New England Patriots will find the quarterback in this front office that they want, right? And let's say, I'll be honest, I think that drafting a quarterback at number 3 is the right move, no matter who it is. But if they don't think Jayden Daniels is a good player and they don't grade him high and he's there at 3 and it goes Williams, Drake Maye, like, and you get a king's ransom as a team tries to make a big trade up to that 3rd overall pick, I could be convinced. It's all about what this front office believes and how they evaluate these quarterbacks. And just to add fuel to the fire, Dan Graziano came out with this on Saturday and said people around the league believe the Patriots are open to trading the number 3 pick and addressing the quarterback position in free agency. I think that's a very intriguing idea, and I do want to get your thoughts on it before I go more in depth on it. What do you want? Make the call for me, if you will. Do you want the Patriots to trade the number 3 pick or draft a quarterback when it comes around to that time in April? If you want them to draft a quarterback, type your Ds. If you want them to trade out of that pick, get a haul and get as many assets as possible, type your Ts. I will say this. I think trading would be a mistake. And as I did just kind of detail, like if they don't love their guy, they don't love their guy. And maybe they do trade out of it. Me personally, though, It all starts with the quarterback position in the National Football League. You can have a mediocre roster and still get to the Super Bowl and get to the big moments when your quarterback does dynamic things. And when you look at these three quarterbacks at the top of this draft class, they are as dynamic as it comes. This season, they all had dominating performances. Jayden Daniels won the Heisman with damn near 5,000 total yards, including over a stack on the ground, 50 total touchdowns to 4 interceptions, 72% completion percentage. Drake Maye, a little bit down year after his first year as a redshirt freshman, but still a good year by no means. And he's the most talented thrower of the football in between the hashes. Like, he can absolutely sling the rock over the middle of the field. And then you got the do-it-all guy, Caleb Williams, who's just a terrific player and is likely going to go number 1 overall as the Bears kind of keen in on him, it seems like. And that's kind of why I want to point to this, right? Like, you see the quarterbacks on screen, right? The rebuild all starts with the QB position. I get you can come up with the 49ers and be like, they built their roster first and then they got a Mr. Irrelevant quarterback. Well, even though I'm not the biggest Brock Purdy guy, I still think he's good at things that other quarterbacks can't do. A lot of guys have him as a top 10 quarterback in the league, right? And that's just not because of the wins. It's because of his timing, his sneaky athleticism, his accuracy. He still does good things. And you're not going to go anywhere in the NFL without an elite quarterback. It's just the matter of the fact, right? Back to the matter, I should say. It all rebuilds. And I'm just not sold on the 2025 quarterback class. Like, right now, the top 3 would be Carson Beck, the quarterback out of Georgia, Shedeur Sanders out of Colorado, and Quinn Ewers. Maybe someone rises up like Jayden Daniels did, because he wasn't projected to be a first-round pick. But I'm just not sold on those 3 quarterbacks, man. I don't think they're that good. And when Graziano points out you could solve the issue in free agency and maybe trade back and look to just get multiple young players in the first round and a lot of different other picks to just replenish this roster. Well, the problem is that the quarterbacks in free agency aren't that good. And to me, the only one that I'd be willing to take for the Patriots is Kirk Cousins. He's a free agent coming off an Achilles injury. No one knows if he's going to re-sign with the Vikings or test the market. Baker Mayfield's the other top guy, but I'm not paying him $35 million. I simply will refuse to do that. And if he wants more than that, I do not care. I will not pay Baker Mayfield that much money. Be a horrible decision. And I just don't want to also watch stopgap quarterbacks. I don't want to watch Gardner Minshew. I don't want to watch Jacoby Brissett start a full 17 games. That, to me, even if you're rebuilding, isn't smart. So if you're going the route of free agent quarterback, trade out of number 3 and just accumulate assets, Kirk Cousins is the only guy I'd be willing to do. And if they don't sign Kirk Cousins, I think you should stay at 3 and draft whatever quarterback there is. My opinion, we'll see what they do. And we'll have you covered on it. Like I said, can we get to 80,000 or 8,200 subscribers before the Super Bowl ends? Hit that sub button. We'll have you covered on all things surrounding the New England Patriots, including the quarterback rumors, free agency, draft, everything. Join us. Lock us in at Patriots Today.